Toy Story 3 was the reason why I didn't think there needed to be a Toy Story 4. I
I,
was
I
like, after
have
Toy
I
Story
have
3,
not seen Toy Story 3, and that's
you got to see Toy Story 3, man. Like,
I've
that was
heard,
good.
and I heard that ending was like amazing, and then now they come out with Toy Story
Yeah.
4, like you can't top. But I haven't seen Toy Story 3. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's just how
Yeah,
things
man.
are.
You got to see. It was good. Like, I will say that. Toy Story 3 was like, yo, greatness. It was good.
I believe that.
Yeah. What about Stranger Things?
I stopped watching Stranger Things in season 2.
This guy.
I just lost interest.
Oh, no. That's cool.
I mean, and like I said,
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh, you gotta." I heard it's getting a little bit more supernatural, whereas kids versus whatever the hell, and I think
Yeah.
that's cool and everything. But
This season was good. This season was good, man.
I may give it another shot. I've been rewatching Breaking Bad, so
Yeah, I haven't. I got on like season 3 and kind of stopped. I need to keep going on that one, I guess. Maybe that'd be my assignment this week.
man,
Breaking
the
Bad.
son gets on my damn nerves. I don't. I understand he's handicapped or whatever, but he ain't. I don't think he shouldn't be mentally handicapped. And he gets on my damn nerves with everything. Everything that's being done. He has some kind of bullshit to talk. He didn't like his dad for a while, and he's just annoying
Yeah.
as fuck. Like, come on, man, just push him down some stairs. Just push him down some stairs and just get your revenge.
All right, yeah. So this freedom of speech thing, man. I know we always put topics out there, and we try to see, hey, what do our listeners want to hear?
Correct.
You know, what do they want us to talk about, and all those things. And actually, this topic kind of came up from my mom, and she hit me up with the whole, you have these celebrities out, and they'll make a comment or something, pretty much telling the truth on how they feel about something, but then you have another side who's offended by that, and so their celebrity is forced to then apologize. What I'm saying, to the other group about oh, I didn't mean it this way or whatever, whatever. And we know they meant it. We
Wait,
know they meant it. They meant what they said, you know what I'm saying? And now they have to apologize and fake it and lie to the rest of us, you know what I'm saying? So
can we
it's kind of
can
weird.
we really take for face value what these celebrities are doing? Because they're people too. They have their own opinion, but because they're in the limelight, because they're in the spotlight, because they're seen by so many people, we got this many Twitter followers and this many people on Instagram and this many people on Facebook, that everybody is latched in on them on what they're gonna say about such and such. What is your opinion about this? What is you know what? They're people. Let them have their opinion and take it for you know what? I remember watching this. Kobe Bryant was on James Corden, late night with James Corden, and he's doing
Mm.
that whole the food challenge they do, spill your guts or fill your guts, and
Mm-hmm.
they asked him a question, and he had to eat something or answer the question. He said, rank the top three. He said Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James, and they made him
Right.
on the spot answer the question. And he was like, "Well, I
Yeah.
can eat this because I was like," he's like, "No," he goes, and then in true Kobe Bryant status, I'm first, then Michael Jordan, then LeBron James, and I
Right.
was
Right.
like,
Right.
and then the very next day, all these random
Yeah.
articles ran with that shit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all take that completely out of context. I don't care if
Yeah.
I was in Kobe Bryant's shoes, I'm gonna say I'm the best, fuck y'all, and that's it. Move on.
Yeah. I mean, and well, I guess like you said, we kind of tend to forget that celebrities are, just, they're people. They just like us, you know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Just got more money, more eyes on them, you know what I'm saying? But, they have a right to their own opinions about things too. And on top of that is, their opinion may not be something we agree with. It's tripped out how like somebody on the street can say one thing and we not even care a blink of eye. But then somebody in that's, what I'm saying, that somebody's quote unquote famous, they say the same thing, and all of a sudden, oh, what I'm saying, it's this big deal. And I personally don't care because it doesn't affect my
Right.
life. Like, it doesn't affect me personally. Like, you feeling it how you feel does not affect alpha sized. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't affect Marcus, doesn't affect. You can hate everything that I am as a person. You can literally hate everything. Oh, why does he wear a gold chain? I don't like him. You know what I'm saying? I don't like people who wear gold chains and have beards and wear the hat backwards and, you know what I'm saying? Former drum majors, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, they can personally have a vendetta against everything that I stand for, and I'll just be like, oh, wow, That's cool, I guess. I don't know. You feel like I don't care, but why do we make it? I don't even think the people who care. Like I don't think they care. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think they just want a headline. You know what I'm saying? They just want something to talk about.
it
You know?
you're everybody's freedom of speech isn't really freedom of speech anymore. It's because
Mm.
I extended out to more freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and
Yeah.
because your clothes, how you wear, how your personality is, that's your freedom to express yourself. That's your freedom to be you. And
Right.
people wanted you to be in trapped in this box and have to be this. And now we're in such a world where everybody is like, you have to be this way and this way. This not that's not really a man. That's not really a woman. And I'm like, but you don't know
Right.
who these people are. And
Yep.
if you let these people just live their lives, they if you poke a bear and push a bear in the corner, the bear's going to come out and attack.
Yeah.
So if you don't really care,
Yeah.
we have to be able to separate the artist from the art and the question and the statement or whatever. We have to be able to separate them because I
Yeah.
don't care what anybody says, and I'm still gonna bring this up, and I don't think this has
Oh
shit to
man.
do with freedom of speech. I still
I
listen.
already know you going with this.
I still listen to R.
There you
Kelly's
go.
music.
This guy.
I still listen to R.
Yeah.
Kelly's music. I
Yeah.
believe I can fly. I'm still there with R. Kelly on this. What he does in his personal life, whatever he does, I do not care. Now, somebody's gonna be saying because somebody's gonna be offended by it because they've been in that situation of being in I guess you can say the rape situation.
Yeah.
They know somebody who's been in, so they have emotional ties to the situation.
Yeah.
I know some people who are bigger than larger than life R. Kelly fans, and they say, well, he did what he's did, and that's on him. He still gave us 12 play, and I get that. That's their freedom of speech and expression of saying, hey, I'm listening to his music. I don't give a damn who he's voting for. I'm just here for his music.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's how we have to look at it. Everybody says something, and then the very next day, some newspaper is or some website is going to put it out there and say that, hey, so and so said it this way and take everything completely out of context. Granted, I'm not trying to say what R. Kelly did is out of context because we know exactly what he did, but
Yeah. Yeah. He did that. He did that.
I'm just saying like that was the whole part. Like Lady Gaga going back, and talking about I'm gonna remove the song I did with R. Kelly from my Spotify and all streaming services. Why? You already did the song. Everybody knew everybody knew 6, 7 years ago what he was doing. Everybody knew 20 years ago what he was doing. Nobody really just
Yeah.
came forward and said anything. But all of a sudden she's
Yep.
protest or she has to have her name in some type of because she's done controversy so many different times for some different reason. And for her to say that, I'm like, you weren't working with R. Kelly, the rapist, R. Kelly, the Pied Piper. You were working with
Mhm.
R. Kelly, the musical
Some
genius.
horrible name choice.
Yes, horrible name choice.
Horrible
But
name
he
choice
told
for
us for
him.
the
Like
long, I'm the Pied Piper. I was like, oh, that's what the fuck you meant. Oh, okay, everything makes sense now. But she was
Yeah.
working with R. Kelly, the genius, the musical
Yeah.
genius, and that's what she looked at. She probably knew, and then now she has to take everything and try to retract the statements. I'm going on some rant. Marcus, go.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Ruben. Yeah, but so back to the matter at hand, the freedom of speech. But I'm gonna harp on a little bit what you talking about too, because I feel that these celebrities, these people, it's almost like I don't know what's going on, like in the realm of things, the higher ups that are pushing certain things around or whatever. But you really can't even be yourself, your regular self, unless you are in this other world or of accepting everything else that's going on around you.
Yeah.
So here's the example that I want to talk about. So Genuine, differences. My whole life has changed. Jump on it, pony. That guy. You know what I'm
So
saying?
anxious. It's only
So anxious,
11:30.
right?
I'm already talking dirty. Okay, sorry.
So this guy, he was this guy. so so Genuine was on this show. Like it's like, one of those reality TV shows or whatever, right? And on this particular show, they had, all these other celebrities that were on there as well. And so they were sitting on the couch, right? They were all sitting on the couch. And there was this like there was this person that was, transgender or whatever. That's, I guess, maybe a famous, well-known person that was
Okay.
transgender. I don't really know who this person was, but they were all on the couch.
Okay.
And, and they were all just joking and laughing and whatever. And the person tried to kiss Genuine. Like, literally tried to kiss him. And he, like, kind of pushed back, like, hey, I'm not cool with that, whatever, whatever. And people tried to call the man homophobic. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were on his case about it. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, how is he? He was sitting right there having a good time. Like, he was having a great time with the person or whatever. And because he did not want to kiss them, all of a sudden he's homophobic. Like, so what exactly, what is the point of that? Like, so you have to pretty much not be heterosexual now? Like, that's the bad thing now. So it's tripped out. Like, it's gotten too far.
Now,
I just like things are just getting out of hand.
Is this like a bunch of straight people going after him, or is this like the LGBT elemental PQ rainbow flag space colored type people?
Kicked off the air.
Is it that community? And again, we have nothing against gay people, or anybody of that community, because some of my best friends and my family members are in that community. I'm just saying. Is it that community? Is it that community?
It was that community that was coming after him, but I just felt like it wasn't warranted. Like, I can understand if somebody is, blatantly saying things or doing a certain act that that seems like you're excluding them from a certain privilege or something, or you're keeping people from being able to do something. Then cool, you know what I'm saying? Or I mean, hell, if he just came out and said, hey, I don't like these certain groups of people, you know what I'm saying? I could understand maybe more of the flag then, but like I said, before any of that happened, they were all chilling, having a good time, laughing, joking, and then the person tried to kiss him. Like, that's you're breaking into somebody's personal space.
Yes.
You're doing all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then you want to blame them? You want to call them homophobic? No, he's a heterosexual man who doesn't like men. Like, he's not sexually attracted to men. Leave him alone. Like,
this is like the situation that happened last year with Lil Duval. They brought up the question on the Breakfast Club. They brought up Lil Duval, and they're saying he's been with somebody, been dating them for whatever, and or they're getting down, and he comes to find out that person comes out and says that they used to be a guy and everything, and he's like, and then they ask him, "What are you gonna do?" He goes, "Oh, that person has to die." I remember that. And everybody lashed out at him. I think this was before Smile Bitch came out.
Yeah,
living my best life. Yeah. So when he brought that, when he said that, everybody was going out after him, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. He goes, y'all not looking at it from both sides. You only want to look at it from your emotional sides and act emotional and not logical. This is always coming back. And it was like, he's in a moment of shock. What do you expect him to do? If he's in a moment of shock and he doesn't, he's supposed to, that's something you withheld from him? And you expect him not to react this way? I was like, what do you if we're all talking about being open and honest, free, I want to use my freedom of speech. I want to be able to express myself. Cool, do it, but also be honest. I think that's what needs to be out there. It needs to be more freedom of honesty. If we're all honest with each other, like, hey, this and that, then, you can't really be upset about when somebody tells you, like, if I go in to tell a girl I'm an asshole, I'm not lying. I'm an asshole.
I mean, it's. I just think that the people don't want the truth.
No,
man.
Nobody.
They don't want that. They say they want it, but they don't. And that's we're the thing that's tripped out about. Just, I don't know if this is America. I don't know if this happens everywhere or whatever. But I just feel like everybody's super rude and yet easily offended at the same time.
Correct.
Like,
sir.
I feel like it doesn't. There's no balance. Like, it's like you want to be as crazy and rude as we want to be, because I've seen the memes. Like, the memes are crazy. The meme game will let you be like, God, that's cold. That's dark. That's really, really dark. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
know if I should share this.
Share this, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're bad. We're extremely, extremely rude people, but we're the most easily offended people. So it's like the dumbest thing ever. And I just sit back and watch it all and just be like, this makes no sense. Like, why are we this way? It makes no. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's wild.
Everybody is, and I think now it's because, everybody was all worried about, hush this and hush this. It's like freedom of speech, also in that First Amendment, it's freedom of religion, freedom of the press, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And, people are afraid to say certain things. But people also try to condemn other people with their own beliefs. Like,
Right.
I've had family members, I've had friends because of my belief in I don't believe in any religion, I don't believe in God and all that stuff. And you know, Marcus knows this. I've told him this, and he still treats me the same way. He doesn't treat me any different. He may give me a side
Right.
eye on certain things, and I understand that. Now, it's warranted on certain situations, but you know, it's that whole like if I
Mostly R. Kelly.
I'll be honest, a lot of people don't like my views on R. Kelly. A lot of people don't like.
But no, go ahead, man.
We're not gonna
We're
go
go
back to R.
ahead.
Kelly. We're not gonna go back to R. Kelly.
Yeah.
If I could turn back the hands of time. I'm sorry. Anyway,
I bet he wish he could turn back the hands of time.
I'm lost my train of thought.
This guy.
But it's the whole thing of trying to. I'm trying to get back on. Where was I at?
People have different views. You have a different view on your
different views. Okay, a lot of people try to condemn me with their religious beliefs because of what I believe in, and I was like, but don't. Why would you try to condemn me with what you believe in, and because it's not because what I believe isn't what you believe. We can believe two separate things and still coexist in this world.
Right.
Just because I believe in something and doesn't mean some of these people, they can believe the fucking Chicago Bulls are gonna win the World Series. It's not gonna happen. Yeah. It's not gonna happen. But you get what I'm saying. You know? Yeah, that was two mixing sports. And somebody's gonna say in there, he goes, that's baseball is World Series. Yeah.
Baseball and basketball. Yeah, you got
it. And I think that's another thing about freedom of speech. We always have to put disclaimers on everything now.
You have to put disclaimers, man, and it's like, because you just never know, man. You just never know. Because see, the thing about it is you can't be as free as you want to be unless nobody's paying you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if nobody is paying you, then maybe you have that freedom. But as long as you represent something else outside of yourself, whether it's, a school district or, a car dealership or whatever it is you do in life, people are going to kind of tie that to you. So you kind of like, dang, I can't really just go out here and just say all of this because somebody may hear it somewhere, somebody may take it the wrong way. And that's not even what I meant. You know what I'm saying?
And
so
people have to worry about trying to lose their jobs on just that. I mean, okay, granted, if you're just there was a dude that used to work with me, and when that whole Charlottesville thing was happening and everything, he started commenting on a bunch of posts about it, and these kind of like, I guess, alt-right white supremacy type things. And it's funny because I sat by him so long, like I never knew. Maybe he was, but maybe he was just trolling. I don't know the situation, but they found it and he got fired. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. I was like, I post some crazy stuff, but I shouldn't be. It's social media. I shouldn't be worried about. But I don't. You and I, we and other people we know don't go that far.
Yeah, we don't go that far. So, like my thing is though. See, I never preach hate at any cause or anything like that. So I mean, I guess I'm safe there. You know what I'm saying? Like, my opinion could be different from somebody else's opinion, but my opinion is never in the vein of hatred for any group of people, because I don't believe that that's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just my own moral compass. Like, I don't think it's cool to hate anybody. I don't think it's I just don't think it's right to do that. Like, I may disagree with several things out there, but like, it's not I'm not going to ever come from a place of hate. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the main difference between, I guess, our show and versus somebody, else is just out here condemning people, you know what I'm saying, for, just believing things that are different, you know what I'm saying? So that's not cool,
Yeah, I mean,
it shouldn't be like
that. Once we get past that and just understand that, hey, we're all here trying to live our own lives, be the best people we can be, but then somebody always has to try to shit on somebody's parade. And it's getting to a ridiculous point, because now it's going. I think now, because this generation, and I sad to say we're a part of that millennial generation, barely, because I think by a couple of years we're barely in there. I'm like, oh, seriously, I'm a millennial? I'm like, fuck, I don't know how to do all the shit they do. But it's that whole, people are, how we talk about like mental health is more apparent now, or more out there than it used to be. And I think that's because most parents didn't understand that growing up. They didn't understand, like, oh no, there's nothing wrong with that person. There's nothing wrong with that person. And now it's like we're starting to realize more now that, like, hey, our parents didn't know shit. A lot of our parents didn't know shit. And this is a general
Right.
topic. This ain't like a general statement. This ain't no like, oh, this person. No, no. And I'm just saying, like, a lot of parents didn't know shit because they were trying to figure out how to be adults. Now we're trying to be adults,
Right.
but we're stuck into this level of like, they're wanting to go out there and just work for a living and be that. And we're trying to get to
Yeah.
that level of we want to be somebody important.
Right. You want to matter.
We want to matter. We want to matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this whole freedom of expression, because everybody wants to live their best life, who they really
Right.
are. There's a lot of people,
Yeah.
Marcus. There's a lot of people we went to high school with and we went to college with
Right.
that are now fully blown out the closet. And again,
Right.
we knew back then. We didn't say
Yeah.
anything. We didn't care. But now it's like
Right.
it's very relevant. It's like, okay, you're out the closet. That's cool. That's fine. I'm not gonna judge you anymore. You say what you want to say.
Right.
But it's now it's like, oh, everybody's mad. Everybody wants to be gay. Everybody wants. I'm like, first of all, the only freedom of expression I think they go overboard with is that parade. I think that's the only thing I don't like. Because I would hate to be in somebody go just randomly downtown somewhere and just see this parade and like, oh shit, the fuck, naked men everywhere. I don't need to be here. I need an adult. I need no, those are
Yeah.
adults. I need to get out of here.
I mean, and I think that like somebody had made a post about crazy. They said that if you put a straight man in a room full of gay guys and he's uncomfortable, that means something. That may mean that he's possibly gay. And I was just like, I don't think that's the case. Like, I don't think that's the case either. Like, I mean, because I feel like, first off, like if you put me in a room full of women, right? Just me in a room, drop me in a room full of women. Like I already
are you living a fantasy? Are you not going down through a fantasy on this like on there?
No, this is just a regular average woman. Like not like a bunch of models or nothing like that.
So I had this dream.
So, so I'm in so you in a room but with a bunch of women, right? And it's like you there and you realize like, oh snap, there's no other guys. It may be a little weird. Like you may be like, okay, so all right. You maybe get past it, but it's still a little awkward. It may be a little weird. Right? You put me in a room with a bunch of white people. You know what I'm saying? Like I may feel a little weird. Like I may feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't like full rooms, basically. I don't like rooms that are full of people. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't like people. But it's like I like individuals. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like Captain America. My faith is in individuals. I don't really care about the whole shebang. Nah, man, just give me certain people I can kind of trust. But I just think that being uncomfortable doesn't mean things. I mean, it's just like you just have to kind of learn other people's ways of being. You know what I'm saying? Stuff is different. Things are different. People are different. You know what I'm saying?
Are different.
And so you have to understand that everybody's not like you. Everybody's not going to think the way you think. Everybody's not going to believe what you believe. And it's okay. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're not hurting nobody, you good. But I think, like I said earlier, Ruben, like we were talking about when it comes to that hate speech, like that's the thing it goes about. And then people are culturally insensitive.
Yes.
People can be culturally insensitive.
Culturally insensitive and culturally ignorant.
Culturally ignorant, right? Like, first off, I'm gonna throw this out there, Ruben. I remember once upon a time, several years ago, Dorito. They had this Dorito taco at Taco Bell, right? They came out with the Dorito shell. And I remember thinking, I was sitting there and I was just watching the commercial because first off, I thought it was a crazy idea. I said, wow,
right.
You know what? That's kind of brilliant. But then I thought deeper and I said, you know what? They are making a mockery of Mexican food. They're making a mockery of it. Like Taco Bell is like the worst for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna make a Dorito taco shell and then try to pass it off as Mexican food? Like, that's just a really basic example of what happens. But it's food, so I can go there with food. But come on, man.
Taco Bell is not Mexican food.
It's not Mexican.
But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I'm like,
it's horrible.
But
it's horrible.
The fat person that I am, I was like,
yeah.
That sounds interesting. I'll do it for science. I didn't like I didn't like the nacho cheese one. I thought the Cool Ranch one was a different flavor. I think the Cool Ranch one, you have to get it in chicken and put sour cream in and get it a Taco Supreme, and it tastes amazing. Like it works. But
you heard it here first, guys.
Yes. Hey, fat people know. Shout out to Corey Mitchell, man. We experiment on a lot of food. But the one taco that they did not bring out was the salsa verde. And that's what the salsa verde is, the one I want. I was like, oh, this would go great with any of the beef or the chicken.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yes, I was like, oh, that would have been amazing. And they never brought it out. And I was like, why didn't y'all experiment with this one? But Hey, it's okay because
Yeah,
sometimes things just don't come out the way it needs to or should be because
yeah,
nobody pays
yeah.
attention to it because they're not really their test groups or anybody else they're not really expanding out and I think that's more of a being ignorant to the brand.
Right,
Whereas
right.
like when it comes to food, sometimes it's just give people what they want. They gave us I mean, if think about it, if you the Doritos Locos Taco is probably one of
Yeah,
the greatest things ever to come out.
yeah,
And I guarantee you, it was on some fat people, high people shit.
yeah,
Because that is
yeah.
the way that the fucking Rogue Gamma was created. Shout out to all my UAPB folks that know about the Rogue Gamma, the original Rogue
Yeah,
Gamma, not the new one.
I remember the road
Not
gas,
the new one.
the
The
original.
original, when my boy Derek Williams was on the grill and when I took over on the grill, like back then. Back then when I was there. I don't know what they're doing now. I
Yeah,
can't vouch for what
yeah.
they're doing now. But
But but yeah, man. So back to the cultural thing. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people are ignorant of that, and I don't think that ignorance. I'm not saying it's an excuse per se, but I do think that people have to understand, like, hey, man, we don't know everything about every culture out
correct.
there. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what's offensive to everybody. We
Correct.
don't know that. Like some people don't know. Sometimes you have to be told, hey, that's kind of racist. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of jacked up. You can't really do that. Do y'all not have any black people on y'all team? Do y'all not have any Latino people on your team? Like somebody should have to tell you that these things are bad. You know what I'm saying? And
It,
so that's that's
it's almost
that's
like
part of it, the
it's like
diversity.
how they get mad when they do the race swaps with all some of these iconic characters in comic book history, and
Right.
they're talking about what if they
Yeah.
brought out Black Panther
All
as
fake
what? Yeah,
characters.
all fake characters, all fake. What if Black Panther was white? I like what happened to T'Challa? Why is the new Black Panther white?
Yeah.
I don't want Trevor. I want T'Challa. But that was an iconic
Sebastian.
that was an iconic character. The very
Yeah.
first black superhero. I
Yeah.
was like,
So
why would you change it? Granted,
yeah.
like they talk about like, oh, why would they change Cap? I was like, did you read the story? Are you just it's almost like what everybody does on Facebook. They don't read the
Yeah.
article. They just share it and
No.
react off of the title. That clickbait
Yeah.
ass title.
Right. Just like that 007. The 007. So nobody read it?
Oh my god.
Nobody read the thing? I was like, y'all see that he retired and they just gave the number to her. They didn't say that she was James Bond. They just said that she was 007. It's a difference. It's two different people. You know what I'm saying? He just happened to share that title and the name. You know what I'm saying? You retire. It's like me being a teacher or something, and I'm the teacher of this class, and then all of a sudden I leave, and it's another teacher. They're the teacher of their class. Like they replaced me. It's somebody else now. You know what I'm saying?
Like
So
Daniel
it's
Craig can't do it
I
forever.
understand. He can't. Yeah, first off, he can't do it forever, and on top of that, the fictional character that Daniel Craig is playing has not been changed. It hasn't been changed. They pretty much just told us more about the movie. They pretty much spoiled
They
some of the
spoiled
movie
the whole
for us.
movie. Like, come on, y'all
Like,
could have did
yeah,
this.
you know what
Like,
I'm saying?
Double O
Like,
Seven is the
it's
code name.
serious.
It's not James Bond. It's just the code
Son,
name.
like, are y'all mad?
I
Like,
was
come
talking with some
on.
of my
Like,
friends last night, with some of my toy friends, and we were talking about like how everybody's tripping out. Like, first of all, we got Ariel and all those memes. Then we got all the race swaps.
right.
Then we got all the Area 51 swaps or
Oh, this Area
memes.
51 stuff is hilarious. The Area 51 stuff is hilarious, man.
I've been like, these folks are creative, freedom of speech, freedom of
Yeah,
expression, express
yeah,
yourself. And then you
yeah,
got this one. I'm like, I'm waiting to see what kind of memes we're gonna get because I know they're gonna be borderline stereotypically
yeah,
wrong. But if
yeah.
it's comedy, it's comedy. And if it's like, oh well, okay. And it's like they said, like, why couldn't they make it another race? I was like, well, nobody wants to see a Mexican James Bond. I don't know why.
Man, I pay for that. I
I
mean,
mean,
it
but
depends
there's
on
really
who it
like
was.
no Mexican. There's really no Mexican actors out there like that. I mean, nobody wants to see Julio Bando. Nobody wants to see that. No, because all he does is
Antonio Banderas could have did it,
back
man.
in
He
the
was
day, yeah,
cold.
back in the day,
Back in
yes.
the day, he could have did it, man. He would have been a cold James Bond. But
Even though
but no. So let's go
he's a
back. Let's go
Spaniard,
to your
he's not
point.
Mexican. He's a
Yeah, he's
Spaniard.
Spaniard. Yeah, I got you. I got you. I got you. They see what I'm talking about. See how Ruben just told me. You know what I'm saying? Don't bash me. Just enlighten me. Enlighten me. You know what I'm saying? But dang it! All right, I forgot what I was gonna say. But
I think with the race swap, with the whole race swaps, the gender swaps on certain roles, that is their freedom of speech to do that. You know, like how people say, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Why are they making this movie? Why are they like? Because it's their money. They can do what the fuck they want to because it's their money. You ain't spending no money. If you spend the money to
you
make a
gonna see
movie,
it or you're
you
not.
make the movie that you want to make.
Right. Yeah. If you gonna see the movie or you're not gonna see the movie. And oh yeah, that's what it was. That was my thought. All right, so comedy, right?
Okay.
You know, we talk about the memes and the humor and the
Correct.
you know the borderline craziness lines people cross, habitual line crosses, what I
Comedians
call
should
it.
be in their own
But
little category.
yeah, yeah, because see, even now, if you're a comedian, you can't make certain jokes.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like everybody's offended. And I'm
Correct.
like, why are you so offended? You know what I'm saying? Like, people talk about black folks all the time. Black folks talk about black folks all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, I don't know if it's certain groups are more sensitive than other groups. Everybody feel like they've been oppressed and everything. And I'm like, everybody don't have the same history. You know what I'm saying? Like, bad things happen to everybody, but everybody's history ain't quite the same. So I don't know if everybody has the same right to be just that upset like that. But uh, I don't know, man. I feel like if you can't even tell a joke nowadays, then I just
That's
don't
what
know,
you do
man.
when
Freedom
you
of
pay
speech,
when
man.
you pay to go see a comedian. You're going out there
Yeah,
to hear them say
yeah,
some of the most ignorant shit
yeah, ignorant.
ever, and stuff that you think in the back of your mind that you're afraid to say. The comedian will say it. Will say it
Yep.
proudly and in a better joke than you ever thought you could put together. And that's how we're supposed to like.
Right.
You go there to decompress. You go there to. I've been in comedy clubs where it's all different races laughing together at everybody else. That's what
Right.
happens. That's what you're
Right.
supposed to do. I mean that's this own little rainbow coalition of laughs. That
Mm-hmm.
camaraderie right there is like, but people get offended by it, like them give a comedian giving their opinion. A comedian is probably one of the most deep thinking people, the people that are in
Yep.
the most deep thoughts. I can't word this correctly. Words mean things, but
Right.
I can't
Yeah.
put it. But you understand what I'm saying? Like they're always so deep in thought. They're most comedians, majority of comedians are really really smart, very intelligent people. They know how to
Yeah.
word a joke correctly. I mean, because it comes with just being able to do that. I mean, they're oh, what's the word? Their diction, their the what they say, how they are, who they are, whatever.
Yeah.
They're made for it, and they're not afraid to get backlash. But now when comedians get
Mm-hmm.
backlash, I was like, man, you're taking me away from my profession.
Yeah.
I'm here to
I just
entertain
feel
you.
like somebody out there has to say it. Like I feel like it's not like the comedians are the voice of the people.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? And they may not be the voice of all people,
correct.
but they're the voice of some people, like some group or
Yes,
sect of people. You know what I'm saying? They have a similar thought, a similar wavelength. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? And the stuff is funny. Like it's like when you can make fun of, you know, the crazy things that's going on, the things that may make you sad
yeah,
under any other circumstances, right? You could be going through. It could be the depression. It could be a bad relationship. Could be your job crazy, whatever. Somebody that passed away in your family. But when somebody can make light of a situation that you know what I'm saying, were going through and you were sad about, you know what I'm saying, that you kind of need that.
yes.
And sometimes those jokes that pull you out of that little dark space, sometimes it requires a little dark humor. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
sometimes you just need a little like, wow, that is jacked up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Mar-
really messed up. But I could say it, but thank you. You said it. You know what I'm saying? So there you go.
Marlon Wayans said it best. It's a comedian's job to go in the deepest, darkest cave and pull out a joke.
Uh-huh.
And that's how we're
Yeah.
supposed to look at it. I mean, they're there to make us laugh, whether we agree with it or not. It's just there for laughs. And sometimes the dark humor is the best humor possible.
Yeah.
And you we just
Yeah.
need to laugh. And if we there's a guy that I know he's a white guy, and
Yeah.
he shares a lot of the racial memes up from any race, and he's not saying
Yeah.
it in hate. He's never said anything in hate. It's just that this is funny. This is funny because he's only taking the meme for face value. He's not going deep.
So Ruben, before you go any further, let me ask you this question
Yes,
real
sir.
quick. Before I forget it.
Yes.
Is it just me? Because I'm asking this because you know what I'm saying we're even though you seem like you're just a light skinned brother, you're not. Okay, but so is it just me, or do things just seem more racist coming from white people? Do things just happen to seem like if a white person say it, it just automatically seem racist? Like, is it just me? Because I be trying to get past my own biases here, man. But it just seemed like I can't. It's hard for me to take them as joking, like how we joke, because I'm like, I don't know if you're joking. I
And
don't know if somewhere
that's the
deep
thing.
down you feel that way or not.
It's 40 years of oppression. Like you don't understand. You don't know if they're joking with you or like. And I guess that's the whole part of and I think that's on our side of being culturally ignorant. Because
Right.
we don't understand, we don't know where that person came from, how they grew up, and everything. It is one of this dude. He's like a father figure. Well, he is. I call him my stepdad, but I call him pops.
Yeah.
He calls me son and everything. And I've been knowing this
Right.
guy for over 20 years. And his son is like my little brother. And he's a white guy, and he's from Maryland. He's probably one of the coolest white guys I ever met. And he's not you can tell genuinely as long as I know him, he is not that way. He may say a joke here and there, but he cares so much about a lot of people. I mean, because his wife was Mexican, so
Yeah.
and I think that's what we have to look at. Like when somebody says, "Oh man, you're cool for a white guy," I was like, I just when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, okay, bonding. Y'all understand each other. There you go. That's how we break down those cultural barriers. But
Right.
it's funny how when you brought that up because everybody claims that I'm black. I'm not. I'm Mexican. I'm just an Americanized Mexican. Okay. A lot of my family didn't really grow up with the culture ties to Mexico like other ones, even though like some of my family is culturally with Mexico, but a lot of them
Right.
came to Fort Worth, Texas, and we just kind of grew up without learning Spanish. So there's a
Right.
lot of my family members that don't know it because a lot of my
Right.
older relatives, the aunts and uncles and everything, they used to get beat in school for speaking Spanish in school.
Wow.
So yeah, so it was
Really?
like they didn't want us to go have to deal with that, but then they also kind of set us. Oh shit, they kind of set us back some, and
Just a random
yeah,
occurrence.
sorry. You'll see that on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that stuff I had to deal with, and I understand, so like they, I don't speak. I understand most Spanish, but I don't really like fluently, so I can't speak it for to save my life.
Right.
But I get
Gotcha.
always confused for a lot of stuff, and like it's funny how like I went to a black elementary, a black high school, graduated from a black college.
Right. UAPB.
Yeah, most of the women
You are probably black. That's what it stands for. You are probably black.
most of the women I've dated have been black. Okay, so and it's just I try to get along with everybody. It's just
Right.
that
Right.
I
Right.
love R&B. I grew up on Motown, but I like all kinds of music. And
Right.
it's funny how I get to be thrown in and out of jokes and conversations at will. It's like I hear somebody say something goes, "Oh, Rube, you're black, you understand." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm Mexican. What the hell?" Like, stop telling me what. And then they say something, and I'm just looking at them crazy. It goes, "Oh, well, you're not black, so you don't understand." Like, how do you just willy nilly just throw me in and out of the loop? Like, I'm just like, I'm in the loop, I'm out the loop. I'm in it like it's a bad game of double dutch. Like, am I in or out? I'm in and out. Like, it's very confusing. I was like, you know what? I'm me.
Yeah.
I'm me, and I'm gonna do be who I am, how I am, and everybody's gonna accept me for who I am.
Right. They should. People should. It shouldn't be one of those. It shouldn't be the way that it is. Like, I wish the world ran on kindness.
I wish to.
Like, wouldn't it be dope? Like, if the world like ran on like you were able to acquire all the things you wanted, like based on how well you treated other people
Man,
versus money. Like, man, imagine how different things would be out here,
that
right?
would be so amazing.
But it would be. Like, I just feel like I don't know. I feel like that would be my perfect world. That's what I would do. If you don't know how to treat people, you get nothing. You're on the street. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So when it comes to this freedom of speech thing, man, I think some of the things the major takeaways we have to look at is, our own cultural bias.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We have to realize that, oh, okay, I may have an issue with this.
Right.
This may be something I need to work on. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people don't want to address those things because everybody believes that I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not racist. I'm not prejudiced. I'm whatever. Like, no,
you
yes,
you kind of
you
are.
have it in you. It's kind of there. You know what I'm saying? We all kind of have it. You know what I'm saying? I think like it's like being in that room. Like, what room full of people would you feel the most uncomfortable around? Like, and why do you feel uncomfortable? Why do you not feel relaxed? You know what I'm saying? What makes you feel that way? So those are the things that you have to kind of address, man. And I think that we need to learn how to separate, our biases from what a person actually is.
Yes.
What a person actually, what they're talking about, where they're coming from. Try to understand people better.
Yeah.
Don't be easily offended. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you have to take a step back and kind of look.
Yes.
Take a deep breath. Think about it. Process before you just react. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll help a lot of this stuff that's going on. And read the articles. Don't just read the headline, people. Read the full articles out here, man. It's clickbait. They want to get you to. They trying to mess you up. So if you click it and read it, you be like, oh man. Ruben, how many articles have you read about Endgame? How many articles did you read about Endgame that didn't really say anything? Like the headline make you think it's really something. You click on it, and it's nothing. It's nothing new. It's regurgitated information. So
I didn't want to go into journalism like that because I know I had to be the listen to the editor and put this out and put these fluff pieces out, and I was like, why should I have to do this when you hired me for my opinion and I'm here to write and I'm not gonna ruin my job for it. He goes, but that's what journalism is. You come out with hardcore facts and some good writing, and then you deal with these puff pieces, and just like, oh, we just need people to click on the article. Why?
Yeah.
Why do I need to tell them watch Spider-Man get fucked in the ass? And then you click on the article and it was like, oh, it ain't got nothing to do with that. I was like, nobody wants to. Like, nobody wants that.
Ruben, you clicked on that article.
Hey man, shit happens.
Ruben clicked on it.
Hey man, you ever see an article and you're looking like you're scrolling through like what the fuck, and you drop your phone and you accidentally click on shit. Yeah. Trying to catch your phone and
oh my god, did I reshare that to my page? Oh my god,
how did that go out there? Who did I share that to? What's downloading? So no, I think curiosity on a lot of this stuff. I think we should live with more curiosity, like try to find the root problems to what we're dealing with, and just talk to people. Don't dismiss somebody just because they're not stereotypically that culture, that race. Because I got a friend who's black, but we call him a 16-year-old white girl.
Wait a minute, what? I don't know. I feel like I missed something. All I heard was that last line. Like,
Oh, I'm sorry. I said like we just.
What happened?
we just need to like stop actually talk to each other and get to know each other, because I have a friend, black dude. He's like my big brother, and we call him a 16-year-old white girl, and it's just how
why
he has a daughter.
I need to know the backstory.
He has a 10-year-old daughter. And he loves his daughter. His daughter loves him. And all these everywhere he goes. But it's just some of the things he knows. So I'm like, why do you know that? Why are you singing Katy Perry? Why? It's just certain things he does. Don't get me wrong. He's a black dude. He acts black. Some of the stereotypes, yes. But I'm like, it's just funny. Some of the things I'm like, are you sure? But it's like people dismiss certain people. Goes, oh, so and so ain't really black. I'm like, why? Because he didn't grow up in the hood? That don't make him any less black. That just makes him a little more fortunate than us.
Yeah. So that's a whole nother topic.
The dismissal of races.
Where you
how do you get your black card? How do you get any race card taken away just because you don't act like the stereotype, the negative stereotypes?
Yeah, man. The negative, it got to be the negative ones. It's never the positive ones. Always the negative ones. It's like, what?
Yeah, I remember. Hold on. Slight story on that. I remember walking into I posted this on Facebook some years ago too. I remember walking into a Whataburger, and it was right there by my job. And this was on lunchtime, and I'm dressed up. I had my shirt and tie on, slacks, dress shoes, and everything. Back when I still wore dress shoes. I can't wear dress shoes now. They hurt. But
this guy.
I walk in there, and there's a bunch of Mexicans sitting in there in construction gear, paint on them, dirt on them, whatever, and they're just looking at me because I'm dressed up. I had my ID badge on, I had some sunglasses on, and I look professional. And they're just looking at me, and that was one of those things. Is like, that's the hate from my own race. The fact that I'm not out there doing construction, I'm not out there being the typical Mexican, mowing lawns, doing construction, doing some kind of maintenance work. I'm actually out here doing something in a shirt and tie. And I get looked at. It's just that stare at me like, what? And this ain't back when I had my full beard out. No, this is, it was actually lower than this. So it was like,
Yeah.
That's the.
Yeah.
But I think any race,
Businessman Ruben.
businessman Ruben. But it was just
Yeah.
something I just noticed, and because you can feel when somebody's just staring at you, especially when it's like 4 people staring at
Yeah.
you, like.
Right.
But that shit I had to deal with, and it's just messed up. But it is what it is. I mean, I don't have to go out there in the sun and bake and do all that shit. I can be in the office, chill in the AC, watching YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, it happens to us too, man. It's a thing. You know what I'm saying? But I think like we've been saying this whole show, man. It's just about trying to just gain better understanding as a people. You know what I'm saying? As a human race of just trying to understand that we all have our differences, but
yeah,
our differences don't necessarily mean that something's better than the other. It's just different, man. And we gotta get past this hate thing. Like it ain't gonna happen in our generation, man. I know, but I feel like, hey, give it a little time.
give it a little time.
People may just give it a little time. You know what I'm saying?
It takes one person to understand, and you just
Yeah.
build off one person.
Yeah.
So
So
hey, just
Yeah, man.
before we jet out here, Lion King comes out this week, man. Lion King, the Lion King. It's the
Live
circle
action
of life,
animated.
and it moves us all. I'm sorry, I just been wanting to do that for the longest.
Yeah, he's been sending me messages
I've
with
been
just that
sending that
line.
to everybody.
Like, he knows no other lines from the song, but that
It's
one.
that
That's
one
the
side
line
because
he knows.
you feel that in your soul, like, and it moves us all. You feel that in your soul, like, come on now. I know I'm not the best singer, but man, come on now. That I'm gonna be in that theater singing the hell out of that song. It's
The line comes out, man. Check it out. Let us know. We'll probably talk about it on the next show.
we'll talk about it next week. I know
Yeah,
Marcus
we'll
is probably
talk
gonna
about
do a
it next time.
review on it. I may do a review on it, reviewing it with the soundtrack, because
Yeah,
everybody's dissing the
Yeah.
soundtrack, but I gotta watch the sound. I gotta listen to the soundtrack or the music while the movie's happening. I gotta see it in context of what's going on.
yeah. Yeah, we'll see how that plays out, man. I've heard a few reviews already. I'm curious to see how it is for myself, man.
Yes,
Most definitely.
but that's all we got.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got to get out of here, guys. Know that juice is temporary, sauce is forever. Know that you are blessed. Know that you are loved. Alpha sized out.
Hey, everybody, no matter what you do in this world, no matter what you do in life, continue to be great at it. Be awesome at it. Be better than awesome. And don't forget, and it moves us all. Bye.
Bye.